There's
Welcome
only
back,
one.
people. I hit go live before everybody's ready because we're sitting here talking about what we're going to talk about in the episode like we normally do, but we never like actually go live, and so I just like force it upon us. And then Hayden's like, do an impression," which I did. I don't know, that lasted for what, twice, and then we had a big hiatus, and now we're back. We're talking some of the new cards, and specifically, we started off talking about the Enchanteds because, boy, are they cool! Again, I will say kudos to the art team and the art design team. They've done a fantastic job since post rotation on making these Enchanteds extremely sought after. And if you listen to the last episode, we talked about kind of some of the surging prices of Enchanted, and I have a feeling that these are going to fall right into that because they're all insane. So like if you're on the video version, you can see we're here scrolling through some of the new releases, which are what we're going to talk about today. A lot of the new stuff, looking forward, just kind of getting back into the meta and looking forward to Into the Wilds. I got it wrong last time. Is that right? Into the Wild.
Wild and
Wilds.
Wild
Oh my
Unknown.
God! What is wrong with me? I don't know anything anymore. I should not be doing this. Wilds Unknown. So yes, first one up. Let's just talk about some of these Enchanted since that's where we were. You've Got a Friend in Me. This is definitely on the hit list for me. It's a insane card. From like a collectability perspective, playable, we can talk about that too. But just, I mean, Buzz and Buddy on a card too. Buzz and Woody, I'm just done on a card together, and it's a great artwork piece.
Yeah, I love this card. I
Definitely fits
want.
iconic.
Yeah,
But it's not.
It says iconic right there.
where?
Read it.
It does say rarity icon. It does say rarity icon.
And it also says it on the 5 cost blue song.
But it isn't enchanted. But I guess they just have these labeled wrong because these are all enchanted. But
Yeah.
okay, let's before I skip forward. You've Got a Friend in Me actually playable? It's a 3 cost inkable song that says, look the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal up to 2 toy characters and put them into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your deck in any order.
Absolutely playable, I think.
I think it depends on what toys we get.
Sure.
But I mean, so if you can play, I guess like what would be the number? Like 28, 30-ish, around 30 toys. I think this card is good.
Yeah, I said that too when it was released. If you're trying to get max value from this and not be like an Into the Wind thing where you have to like flip the cards and you can draw for as many colors as you see. If you're trying to like actually get value and not just replace itself, then I think you're right. I think you need to be up in like the 28 to 30 range, so you're not just hitting 1, you're hitting 2, and that's going to be all up in the air on how many toys we see. That being said, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of toys.
I think you're right. I mean, so far, there's been pretty decent toys I've seen so far.
There's already a deck that you could play with 30 of them. 100% red yellow there's enough.
Probably. And
no, there's at least 32 if you played them all at 4. I know there's been at least.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. I was thinking 30 different ones, but
no, just like 8 or 9.
Different copies. Yeah, you're definitely right there.
I don't think I think the card is definitely, when I say absolutely playable, I mean like it's good enough to where like the deck will be okay with, like, you could build a toy deck and this card will be in it and it'll be pretty good. Like, I don't know if that necessarily
on the card is good enough to see play.
Post rotation.
I don't mean like high competitive level. I'm just saying like it's a pretty good card.
Sure. Especially post rotation, dogs will go away and toys will be in its place. I think I would assume based on what we're seeing some of these, and there's definitely a toy card I want to talk about. But yeah, I think it probably off the bat won't be, but I think post rotation especially, it very well could be one of like the defining archetypes. So, okay, we have How Far I'll Go Enchanted. Oh, sorry, not How Far I'll Go. What else can I do Enchanted? They have basically reprinted How Far I'll Go as a 5 cost uninkable with a little bit of a flair. So what else can I do says, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand and put the other into your inkwell face down and exerted, which is exactly what How Far I'll Go says, except on top of that, it also says if your character sang this song, your characters gain ward until the start of your next turn. So a little bit of higher cost, a little bit of a buff, but we know How Far I'll Go was a staple basically from the day that it came out. So I would imagine that this is relatively playable too, but one, I love the card. I think, again, they're just knocking the artwork out of the ballpark. I will make a gripe on this one, however. I will make a gripe. I don't know why they're now bleeding the Madrigals into Sapphire. I wish they stuck with
Yes.
Moana, because her and Grandma Tala from the very beginning were like, hey, when bad things happen to us, we don't get banished. We go and to support the community, and aka go into the Inkwell. So kind of wish they would have fit another Moana song in here somehow. Obviously the water theme then works as well, but anyways, that's just me being very nitpicky. Yeah. What else can I do?
I think you're right. The artwork, beautiful. I think the card is very great, very good. It's probably going to see competitive play immediately, like at least 1 or 2 copies in Blurple, I would imagine, right away, and definitely blue yellow probably also. But I don't like it. I think it's a very boring card. Like the design of it is so boring. If you're giving us an enchanted new card, like make it something different than a card. Like the thing they added to the effect is just a degenerate thing that's gonna make people angry. That's gonna like provide weird, uninteractable like situations where it's your opponent doesn't get to interact with your board because of ward, which is why I think that's like inherently not a great mechanic because it can never be like how you run the game. So I just think I would have liked them to do something a little bit more creative and different with this card, but it's very good.
If you're on the play in Blurple and you're doing your normal curve with this, and then like you sing this, and then you give your stuff wards so they can't like swing back on you next turn, like that's just crazy.
It's Demona or game, yeah. Like they need a Demona, and so we're just gonna be like doing that
But
again.
they can't because you're on the play.
Oh yeah, they can't even do that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
they have to like double ramp into Demona, which means they don't even have a board. And so if they do Demona, it doesn't matter.
I'll have a hot take and say this card is not as good.
No, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be really good.
I think it's going to be good, but I don't think it's as good as How Far I'll Go.
I agree.
No, I agree with that. My hot take, however, is that you could play this and How Far I'll Go and Infinity. Like imagine again, this is just like crazy scenario. Is it actually good or not? I don't know because you're not singing it. But you play Tala on 3, you sing How Far I'll Go, you hard cast this. You're not getting the ward, but if you're playing blue red and you're just ramping, then you just drew 2 cards your turn. And you replaced your Hiram draw. So
and now. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
And Infinity, not obviously.
I think that makes sense. And also, I think Matthew, you had a good take earlier today when we were talking about it. When you said, like post rotation, if we lose the 2-cost ramp and we end up just ramping on 3 to 5, then it becomes like a lot different and better that way.
Yeah. That is good, but I think like in current like core, I don't see why you would need to play that card.
I agree. Like, what do you ramp? Like, I think the ward part is maybe degenerate.
The ward is good, but like, do you really want to? I mean, I feel like in Blurple, like, you can't really take the turn off to sing that, right? Or hard casting, it's like a Destins.
I think you could, but the problem is like you just have better stuff to do, right?
I think so too. I mean, I think there's already like 60 cards competing. Like, I don't know. There's probably like actually like 100 cards competing with Blurple.
Yeah, but like I would say, sorry, I was just gonna say if they like ever get to actually like do the thing where they play Elsa, kill your character, and then next turn play a Dumbo, draw with their genie, sing with their Elsa, and make sure their Dumbo lives. Like,
yeah,
that's gonna be extremely difficult to deal with.
Also turns off Cheshire. I guess is like pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can do Cheshire shenanigans and keep them from doing it, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. But I don't know if you. I mean, it won't be a 4-of in Blurple, like in current Blurple.
No, 4. I would agree with that.
Maybe like a 2-of if it's even played.
I think you're getting into a different type of Blurple deck too, like where you're trying to ramp to Tamatoa, the new warded one that plus lore for every time you're boosting something, or you're trying to obviously do bigger, more powerful things. Because if you're taking turns off where in today's Blurple world, you're doing combat stuff or you're singing removal songs of some sort and you're ramping then instead, like you're trying to ramp to something bigger and better. And so I don't know like what that top end looks like necessarily, but anyways, I digress. I think there's a world for it, but I agree with you in the sense that it's not in today's Blurple like sphere. Like it doesn't fit into what Burple's currently trying to do.
I think they'll play one, like at least in the beginning. Like I would try one, right? One or two.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
why
I would
not?
test multiple.
See what
to
happens.
how good it is, because I could be wrong, and the card could just be like.
I mean,
good enough.
it lets you like set up second star in an interesting way. I don't know if that's ever you want to take the time to do that with like that many unequals in your deck, but can
Who
kind
knows?
of make that happen.
Okay.
Oh, I love this card.
I had a feeling one of you would.
I love
So-
it too. I think it's like a 10 out of 10 on art.
No.
It's-
Whoa. Yeah. I mean, are we? So yeah, for art for sure. I mean, again, I'm a massive Incredibles fan, and so
I have a lot to say.
Jack 4 cost inkable 4/4 stat line has the this one was part of like some of the art somewhere or something, right? I feel like we've seen this one for a while. Anyways,
known about
he has a really interesting ability that says at the start of your turn, you may put the top card of your deck into your discard. If the card type is a character, Jack gets +2 strength. If it's an action or item, Jack gets +2 lore this turn. And if it's a location, banish chosen character. So I think that gives you the flexibility to put him in any red deck. And if you then build in towards whatever ability he's most likely going to get. Again, love the artwork. I want your guys' take on if it's actually good or not, because
Not played.
Not good, but I do love it, and I'm gonna play it.
Okay, that when you initially said you love it, that's what I thought you meant, is that it was good. But yeah, I think the consistency of it is just probably not there. I think each card in your deck has a very specific purpose of being there, and cards like Anna, that was played like in the discard days. That you got to choose if they discarded a card or banished chosen damage character. That's like you very like meticulously get to pick that effect. This one you don't get to pick, and so I just don't think that this is going to have the consistency to find a place competitively and be.
Well, I can see maybe if there's a card printed that at the like somehow you can stack a location from your discard to the top of your deck, and you can like almost guarantee it every single time.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I think all of the location stuff like that we have right now is like back to your hand in the Ruby, right? Like all of the location stuff goes back to your hand. But
yeah, and they also chose to make there's like 3 cards that are like location related in red steel, and like they're all 4 costs. Like there's one that gives your locations resist 1. There's the Pocahontas 4/5 that adds 1 back, and then there's this one, and they're all 4 costs. And so I don't know why they do that. And so what? Okay, I have a lot to say about this card, honestly, because I love it. I think it's a very creative design. It like rewards you for deck building. You have to
fits the character. Fits the character. Say that too.
It's very thematic in that way. It's exciting. Like you get to do something at the start of your turn. It has a little bit of randomness that like makes the game exciting for everyone. And it rewards you for deck building. You have to deck build to like make it have a payoff, and they still just chose to make so many things about this card bad. 1, if I hit a location and my opponent doesn't have a character, I have to banish my character. Why? For what reason?
That's a solid point.
2, it doesn't do it at the end of your turn. It has to do it at the start of your turn. So you have to play this card and hope it survives an entire turn, and then to get payoff of it. And then you might just hit a character, and it just gets 2 strength, and it doesn't really do anything. I think they should have put draw somewhere on the card
as one of those abilities. Yeah,
action or item should probably say draw a card. And another thing, it doesn't even start with a lore. Like so you can't even quest.
It has one. It has one. It's very like it's just bad.
Okay, maybe it's actually not as terrible as I thought it was.
That doesn't
I
change
love
it.
this
We
card.
know lore is like the least important aspect of a card for 99% of cards. Especially
but having 1 versus 0, I think, is a big.
Yeah, I mean
deal
it's
with
different.
A card like
It's
this.
different. Sure.
Yeah.
I just agree with you. I think that you are trying to build in as most consistency as possible into your deck, and like I said a second ago, every card has a job within the deck, and this has 3 jobs, and you don't know which of those jobs you're going to fill when you play it. So,
and none of them are that great,
except for the banish, which you can't guarantee. And to your point, I didn't even read it like that initially. Of you might just be banishing Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I I think they're valuing the wrong things in the wrong ways. Like when they're making these trade offs, like, oh, we're gonna make Genie be it's gonna draw on play and it's gonna be evasive, but it's the trade off is it's gonna be a 2/4. Okay, well, I don't like. I feel like for those things, like drawing a card is bigger than like 2 stat points or 1 stat
I think
point.
that's like the uninkableness too, though, right? Like Genie's.
It
I'm
definitely
not
is.
justifying. I'm just saying in my mind, like the uninkableness is like their like nail in the coffin of a card. It's like,
And I agree. I like that. I think that is the way they should be balancing it. I'm just kind of looking at all the red cards that I've seen revealed so far, and it's like they're all so watered down. And I don't want like instead of, if they gave them one more strength and one more toughness, like which I think is supposed to be their identity, right? Like red, is supposed to be the deck that challenges, and they're on the
sure.
board, and they have big characters, and we don't draw because we have big characters. But then they make their characters normal. They're not that big. Like they're just like if you see the new Mr. Incredible, right? Mr. Incredible, super strong man, dad of the house, and he's a 6'4". Like he just doesn't even get to live. That one right
Okay,
there.
yeah. Let's talk about Mr. Incredible. Final score for Jack Jack. I'll give an 8.5 out of 10 for art and a 2.5 out of 10 for card.
I love it. I just wish they took a little bit more of a risk with it and made it a little bit better.
Yeah, I would say 9.5 for art and like a 1 for playable.
Ooh,
I think
even
it's
harsher.
trash.
I'm gonna play it. I mean, I'm going to eventually beat Matthew in a match with that card in my deck.
Okay, you might. Okay, so
I will.
there might be actually a case that card is playable if supers are good enough. If there's enough like super payoff, and then like this card.
Speaking of supers, we have one of the first legendaries, which is Mr. Incredible. He's a 6'4", as Hayden said. Shift 3, quest for 1, has 2 abilities. This character gets +2 strength for each other character you have in play, and whenever one of your super characters is challenged, draw a card. Did it need to say super characters challenges? I mean, could this not just be another like Queen of Hearts replacement? Like when you start throwing those like really niche like stipulations on it, it just like tanks the value of the card.
Almost like entirely.
Yeah, basically.
And I honestly, I talked about this card today for like an hour, talking about how disappointed I was in it because it is. I think it's almost playable, right? Like it's almost a
Close.
decent card for
It's
red.
close.
And what I've learned over this past like last set is like I want red to be playable now. Like I miss playing red. I've realized that. I don't know how or why, but I'm a red player, I think. But I want it to be playable, and I think this card was almost very good if it was like let's say it's a 2/8, and where this character, the first effect actually has like a meaning and actually does something and is kind of thematic versus like he's already 6 strength. He already kills everything being played almost. Like going to be an 8/4 doesn't do anything if your Royal Guard still just trades into my 5 cost.
So that's a very solid point.
Well,
yeah.
Okay, so there is like some payoffs for having more than 9 strength or 10 strength. There's
Maximus.
like Maximus. There is
that new item card that.
But that's my
gives you
point. Is why
+3
they're
lower.
pushing us into playing this weird niche, most strength gameplay instead of just like designing a card that is like can be put on the board and be played.
I agree. No, trust me, I agree.
It dies the Thunderbolt.
6 is already a little bit too much. I literally it doesn't need that much strength. It has an effect in game attack.
Yeah, I wouldn't have that wouldn't have even crossed my mind, Hayden. But yeah, if he was even like the Minnie Mouse, where he was like an 08 or something crazy like that, then yeah, like if you shift him in on 3, then he like has no strength yet, but he's also not going to die. I mean, he's Mr. Incredible. He shouldn't get banished that easily.
He also lures for 1. Like everything about the card is just so mid. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the attack draw card when one of your supers.
Just if it was if anything challenged, just should be any challenge ever.
Yeah,
that's
if they challenge you, draw a card. If you challenge them,
yeah, that's his best line of text.
Yeah, no, because that was what I asked today when I was having the conversation and I was arguing. I was like, is this even better than the current 5 cost Queen of Hearts? Like, wouldn't I just rather have the Queen like most of the time? Over the course of 100 games, that card's going to be worse a lot more than the Queen of Hearts will.
Unless you have 40 supers in your deck, which
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that's not going to be worth it.
I mean, we can move on. Yeah.
Speaking of supers, the one that I get to be disappointed in,
Dash. I know you're.
My boy Dash. Man, is this cool? Sure. Dash is a 4-cost, uninkable. So he's uninkable. 3/2 stat line, really bad for a 4-cost. Quest for 2 and rush, decent. The kicker is that he can quest the turn he's played. So he's a 4-cost, uninkable, close the gap at the end of the game. 4-cost Cobra or Goat, whatever you want to call it, but he's uninkable. I don't know like what he should be doing, but this isn't it.
I agree.
I'll just put it that way.
Like they had a chance to make a card that like they could have done, like, okay guys, like this is how I picture the conversation like, okay guys, we get to do Pixar. We're gonna add Dash. He's the fastest guy in the whole world. What should he do? What cool thing can we apply that to a card game with? And they're like, he should be able to quest the first turn.
He can quest faster than anybody else.
Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. Like, I do kind of like it, but the problem is everything else about the card is bad.
So bad. Dies to everything. Rush is a 4-cost rush character that just trades, doesn't do anything. Like if you're rushing him in on 4 to trade with something, like he's trading, he's not going to have a positive trade. He's not like a 4/4 or a 5/4. I mean, he's just a straight 4,
if it was a 2/4, it would be better, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd probably be
he's a worse
2/4.
super goof, I would say.
He doesn't even have evasive. Like, how is Dash not evasive?
Literally, he's Dash.
Oh, yeah.
He ran across the ocean and like, didn't he? Like, basically,
he might be too good. Am I muted?
No.
He might be too good if he had rush, evasive, and conquest.
Yeah, but take away the quest then. I don't care. Just give him more stats. Like, make him good.
Make him good. Not bad. Are you just like building your deck with 4 of these dashes that are
if I had rush, evasive, and conquest on the same turn? Yes, I would play 4 of it.
That would be a cool deck.
This is a hyper aggro card. This is an Emerald Chromacon, like gun you down with Pocahontas. Like I was thinking of this. It was like, if I'm gonna play this, what am I gonna do? And I'm gonna play Amber Amethyst Chromacon with Pocahontas
and some go-go.
Yeah, and I'm gonna like shift in my Pocahontas and quest so that nobody can get challenged and banished, and then I'm gonna play Dash to finish off the game. Like that's the only thing he's gonna do.
I was thinking like you could just play this in like green, purple, and just quest with this, and then next turn they swing it, and then you go gain 3 lore, and then you have a 5 lore swing.
Yeah, I mean you could do that too. I mean, but this is just 100%. I mean, I don't know. Again, I guess maybe that is thematic. Then he's just the fast guy, and so you're just playing this as an aggro tool. But
I guess so.
I don't know what deck he belongs to other than aggro. I can't see you wanting to play in any other deck.
I feel like he should not be an aggro tool. I feel like he's
okay. I have a hot take about Lenny.
Okay.
Oh,
I think it's actually one of the best cards I've read so far.
Lenny's a 3-cost inkable Emerald card, O2 stat line, quest for 1. He has a toy, so we got to start getting our toy counts up. But he says, when you play this character, chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards an action card of your choice. And once during your turn, whenever you play an action, you may ready this character.
And he can quest too.
Yeah, it doesn't say and he can't quest for the rest of this turn. So he can quest.
You can also sing songs with them multiple times. So if you have like the Toy Story song, whatever, I forgot what it's called.
You've got a friend in me. Yeah.
You can you got a friend in me, Iridium. You can Bare Necessity. I don't know, any songs you can just keep unloading on your song.
No, it's once a turn.
Is it once per turn?
Yeah, it does say once per turn. Yeah,
okay,
ready.
Yeah, I was wondering why you were talking about this card.
I thought it was like infinite. As long as you get songs, you can keep readying it. But no, it's worse than I thought, but I still think it's a pretty strong card.
No, I think it would be cool if it did that. It would actually be maybe see, that's the thing is we're talking about like from completely unplayable, terrible card that you could never play at a competitive tournament to maybe it is Possibly,
I
potentially.
don't know. Yeah, the fact that it's an O2 and that affects only once per turn, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe it's worse than I thought, but I think it's still a strong enough card to probably see play.
I just don't get what they're scared of. Like, I wish they would take more risks. Like, let a card be too good and then just ban it instead of just
I
making a
think
bunch
they
of
don't.
cards.
I think they don't want to have to ban things. I think
So they'd
they're
rather.
scared of having to do that.
I'd rather have
The
more cards
alternative
to
is that
play
we
with.
only.
Yeah.
I trust me, I agree. I would rather
Yeah, I
have
know.
something broken like you go through Bucky for a couple weeks and then go from there. But okay, Merida, this is like gone from my favorite card that they revealed to I think this is terrible to I love this card to I think this is terrible. So Merida's one of the iconics, so that's really exciting. It's a 5-cost uninkable 3/5 stat line, quest for 2. Has 2 abilities. It says when you play this character, you return an action card named 3 Arrows from your discard to your hand, which is a new action card we get this set. But the main ability that you would want to play her for is Steady Aim. Whenever one of your actions deals damage to an opposing character, deal 2 damage to that character. Is that ability get her over the hump of being uninkable and make her insanely playable?
Yes, I think the card's good.
I think so too.
Good, because I
So
love this.
the line I was kind of thinking of is like having Angel on 4, discarding the 3 arrows, and playing Merida on 5, getting it back.
Oh,
No,
that
what?
is interesting.
Mm.
That is interesting.
I want to
That's what I
like
was
play
kinda
Ariel.
thinking. And then also like it makes your like I was thinking this is like more of a blue steel card because you can just like ramp play Angel, then play the Merida. You can like sing the strength, and it deals 4, maybe 5. I think the card is actually really good.
I love this card. The line that I think it's a blue steel card too. I think I'm getting into territory here that I don't love because she obviously has a bunch of Cindy synergy because she's also a princess. So you get to trigger your Cindy, but then you're hiking up your unink counts, which isn't ideal. But if you go Cindy on 3, you go Sonic Warrior on 4, you go Merida on 5. On 5, you're obliterating them. You're triggering your Cindy. So you get 2 damage off of your Cindy. You get how many ever damage off of your Thunderbolt or your Strength, and then you get the damage off of your Merida. So you're doing some serious work against them with your Sonic Warrior / Merida on board. Again, is it too many uninkables at that point? I don't know. I think you are going to have to make some concessions on potentially Hades if you're going to continue to play that. I think you're going a little bit more mid-rangey with your like blue steel stuff versus like just the big bodies that we've seen. But I think there's a world. I do like Merida a lot. Put it that way.
I do too. I like her a lot. And do you think she could see Infinity play? Because I was thinking, grab your sword deals 4 damage.
That's what everybody's been saying. Obviously, it's Infinity. Look, a 4 damage across the board is pretty board wiping, right? Like, I mean,
that's gonna wipe most Infinity boards.
Yeah, that's gonna take out basically everything, right? So for that reason alone, yeah, I think it probably is worth it because Grab Your Swords was insane up until what, like set 5, 6? No, probably what, like 6, 7? Oh God, I did it. Whatever. In that range of like metas, up until that point, it was like insane, and then it got bad because the bodies got too big. That she fixes that issue. So I think, but again, you're back into like how many uninks are you running? So if you're running like 4 Meridas and 3 Grab Your Swords, I guess you're still on Quill, but you're also on seemingly 4 Whole New Worlds. So now we're up to 11 uninks between those 3 cards. So you have to be like really picky and choosy with the rest of your uninkables. But that being said, like if you go something that can sing Grab Your Swords into Merida, into Tinkerbell, like you've just got so much damage thrown around. And I know Tinkerbell doesn't trigger Merida, but I'm just saying in general, like there's just tons of damage that's flowing around. Like I feel like that's how Steel's supposed to be played. I feel like this is the quintessential Steel card, so I love that about her.
Yeah, I think this is one of the better cards I've seen. And I think this card definitely will see play. There's a lot of cool, interesting things you can do with this card. Like a lot of these like Twin Fires and other random deal X to 2 characters are playable because of this card. I don't know if they will see play, but they get a lot better this card.
Yep. I was texting Devin and I was like, "Is this good?" And he kind of said the same thing, and we were all like, "Yeah, I think this is probably somewhere we want to explore." And either he or I made the comment. I'm pretty sure he did, of like, we basically just have to go back through the entire list of things that say deal X damage.
Mhm.
Action.
Yeah.
Because all of them become very, very different when you're adding 2 damage to it, especially things that deal splash damage, like Twin Fire, like you said. So.
Yeah, 3 arrows is actually not a bad card with it. Like, I don't know, the fact that you get it back, I think.
Yeah, I'll pull through it up real quick. It's a 3-cost inkable action that says deal 2 damage to chosen character, then you may deal 1 damage to another chosen character. Again, like by itself, I think it's probably terrible. But if you're playing Merida, which if you're playing this, you're assumingly playing Merida, it's probably pretty good.
Hey, can you do that 1 damage to the same character?
No.
You may deal to another chosen character.
That's what I thought. I was just thinking, sure.
But if you like, yeah, I mean, the angel this away, get it back, and then next turn play this, like that's just a lot of, again, that's just like a lot of damage. Like if you're an aggro deck trying to fight your way through 2 damage from angel and then 4 and 3 damage on different characters from Merida, like that's rough.
Yeah. You can also, I mean, the 1-drop Mulan is definitely an option now with these steel decks. Like, you use discard at turn 1, and you're just going to get value off this Merida. I feel like it's a very, very good card.
Yep. Okay, before we move on to Toy Story, let's talk about Louisa, a Amethyst legendary. 5-cost inkable, 6/4 stat line, quest for 1, shift 3. Has a very, very interesting ability. So you can pay 1, move up to 1 damage from chosen character of yours to this character. Then if this character has 3 or more damage, move all damage from this character to chosen opposing character. I'm pretty sure we have asked some of our judge friends as well, and you can trigger this to 4 damage. So the damage will be triggered and moved before she is banished. And so you can theoretically pay 1 to move 4 damage, which...
This card is disgustingly good.
The more I think about it, I think this is just absolutely the best card in the set right now.
This is a better Cheshire, right? Like it's not
just
one.
disgusting.
It's not once per. It's not once
It's not
per
once
turn.
per
It should
turn, yeah.
move up so if you have a crazy like combat turn and you live through everything, and then say you've got 7 ink, okay, let's just throw a bunch of damage over to their side now too. You know,
Heal my whole board.
yeah.
Deal 4 to a couple of your things. Not have to invest any cards from my hand.
Mm-hmm. If it had 1 more willpower, this card I think would definitely be just the single-handedly best card. If it was a 5/5 or like a 4/6, like this card would definitely be the best
It
card.
is a shift 3 too. I mean, I feel like we've seen a lot of Floodborne characters thus far, which and there's definitely some Floodborne synergies as well. But yeah, I think this is a good one. I mean, again, 4 willpower, not ideal for Thunderbolt and Steel decks, especially if Merida is as good as we potentially thought or potentially think she could be. But yeah, I see this as another like Cheshire Cat problem where it's like if she's not dealt with, then things can get out of hand very quickly because you have to kill everything. You can't just like leave things laying around, or you can't exert into it because then you just are having a very bad time.
I think, okay, so like, would it ever be good to, play it for like with 8 ink and play 5 and move 3 damage and like deal 3 damage? Like it's like big. It's kind of like a worse Vincenzo.
I would play 8 ink to play that. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah,
I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you would too.
And
Yeah.
I think that basically is why I think it's probably playable, right? Because it's like that's kind of the bare minimum.
It's also
It just makes your
recurring.
combat so much better.
Yeah, it's recurring, which is like why Cheshire is better than Bell currently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, being able to do this like every single turn, it's kind of dumb.
It's absolutely the number 1 card on the set for me right now.
Yeah, it is very comparable to Cheshire. I don't know if it'll be like a 1-for-1 Cheshire, but
Well, what do you think is better than
better.
this then right now, Matthew?
Huh?
What if this isn't your number 1 card? What's your number 1 card?
I mean, I like that Merida. The Merida seems like it might be like a little bit more sturdy of a bunny.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to my number one card then. Move over to Toy Story.
I don't really have a number one card right now, to be fair. But
I was just wondering
Do we not?
because I knew you
guess.
didn't like that song as much as everyone else does.
Wait, is it not on here? Surely it is.
there's a key that I kind of want to talk about too. I think this card's very interesting.
Jesse, Lively Cowgirl, 3-cost Inkable Amber, 3/3 stat line quest for 1. Whenever you pay 2 or less to play a card, chosen opposing character gets -1 strength until the start of your next turn. This just says your board's getting under the sea like no card I've ever seen before.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was thinking. Like in my mind, I feel like when dogs rotate out, the toys are just going to be the next.
Yep. This is a dogs enabler. Like dogs players are 100% putting this in.
Oh yeah,
You think so? I don't think so. I think that
Yes.
there's like a 4-cost card that does it better. I don't think this card does it that well.
No, it's every card that you play that costs under 2. If you play a tramp for 2, neg something. If you sing Della's Lullaby, neg 2 on something from Della's, then you played a card that costs 2 or less, neg something else. Like you're wiping
that's pretty good.
There's no more, oh, I'm gonna have a card or 2 left over from after Under the Sea. Board's getting wiped. Like that Under the Sea with this card is just a Sisu now. Like that's all it is.
Yep. This card is very, very good.
This is insane. This card scares me more than anything, for sure. The Mickey I know you're talking about that comes in exerted and like neg something or whatever. Like that one's good too. I don't know if you have to play that one because of this. Like between Willow, so again, like whenever you pay 2 or less for something, with Willow on board, all your 3-cost cards now cost 2.
Yeah.
Everything you play in there is 2 or less to begin with.
Does she count herself?
Yes.
I think this card is a little bit worse because it costs 3. So like, what you're realistically turned 5 under the sea, right?
Depends on if you're shifting Woody or not, or Lady or something.
The other shifts, but yeah, because you do a 1-drop into Willow into a 1-drop, so that's 4. Then you play Jesse and another 1-drop. I guess you could sing Under the Sea, but then you'll be empty-handed.
Yeah, but again, I don't even like. You don't even necessarily have to do it that fast. I mean, maybe again, like maybe the steel stuff is disruptive, and you do have to get there. But regardless, the fact of the matter is like there's like Under the Sea is no longer a hey, like how many of these characters on my opponent's board are going to take it out by this Under the Sea? It's this Under the Sea is a board wipe.
Yeah,
and
I mean I agree with you.
I do like it.
And even if you're not, and even I think this is an Under the Sea card. Don't get me wrong. Like this is very much like that's the first take because it's just such a powerful play. But even in aggro, like if you're just going like 1/1/1 and neg 3 things on the opponent's board so they can't trade anymore. I mean, think about how annoying today. Well, you neg 1 on something from Rhino being played because that's its ability, and then you played something that costs less than 2, so you neg 1 something else or neg that same card -1, so it's now neg 2. And like your opponent's just combat, its combat math gets completely thrown out of whack with this card. And so I think it just very much frees up. I think it just frees open your ability to quest a lot more freely.
I think it's gonna be definitely. I have a hard time seeing it in the current dogs deck, like actually making the cut. But I mean, I definitely see it like post rotation, like being a very good card because I think the quest and draw, if you actually had 2 toys, like it might be like why the card was great because it does 2 really good things. But I don't know if we'll ever have like that critical mass of toys to make that possible.
Yeah, I mean you won't have that this go around, but
yeah,
I think eventually you get there. Okay, I think that's my top card, but I'm taking over and saying what my 1A 1B are, and this is probably my 1B. I want to see if you guys agree with this. Emphasis, the 3-cost uninkable, shift a character from your discard for free. Is this crazy?
I will say on first look, I think it's unplayable, but I'm open to hear what you can do with it.
Really?
Yeah, I need a line. I need to know the line that makes this card good because it's a 3-cost uninkable that doesn't really do anything.
And then how are we getting there? That's how
shift Clarabelle on 3.
So how are you getting Clarabelle into this card?
Like either strike a good match.
Oh wait, okay. So dogs, I guess.
It's not dogs. I mean, it's green yellow, but it's very much a like a circle dogs versus your aggro dogs. So you've got Bobby on 1, you've got Strike a Good Match, you can sing on 2, you've got Yzma on 2 if you wanted to go that route. I mean, there's a bunch of ways to mill or to put stuff in the discard. Obviously, I think that there's like potential for Steel.
Still
for
can do it pretty easy
to
too.
play Mulan and mill something, But anyways, I don't know.
Also, there's the new
I think
Gontu.
it's really good. Yeah, the 1 cost Gontu. I think this is really good. I think that there's a lot of really expensive Floodborns out there, especially in Steel, that have always been overlooked because they're just a little too slow, and their removal at the top end is always going to be better. But if you're getting that out on 3 or 4, then those shift targets that are shift 5, shift 6, shift 7 are just insanely good with this.
I think it is really cool. Like, I love this card because it's creative, it's fun. It's super, like, I love it for all that. I just think it's uninkable. So, like, they didn't take a risk and make it inkable.
That's fair.
And the fact that it's uninkable means that if you ever get to play this, that means something crazy has happened and the deck is really good, and like you play 4 of them, because there's no way you're playing it at 2 and like it being like, oh, I have like 8 shift targets in my deck and I'm just gonna hopefully this gets to happen. It has to be like something you're like consistently like discarding, dumping your hand, which I guess green yellow can do.
So what I think we would need to make this card good is a 2-cost card that lets you look through your deck and send a character from your to your
Foolish.
discard.
We need Foolish.
It's what is called in Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm just looking at like cards that shift that are like high cost Floodborns. You have the Gumshoe Goofy that shifts for 5, that negs everything -1 when he's played and when he quests, and he quests for 3. You have Pluto the Bodyguard, the 7 cost shift 5 Bodyguard. That's a 3/8 that removes all the damage at the end of your turn. Shift 5. No, you can't do that one. That one's a dual link. What am I thinking? Chippendale, the 8 cost Steel John Silver.
Is there like a Mulan that we can do it? Because it would be really ideal if like the cards, like, or a Gontu or like something that discarded it was like something you could shift on top of. That would make it a lot more consistent.
No.
You know what I mean?
To answer your question, no.
Yeah.
There's also the new Buzz Lightyear, which we can talk about in a second. Yeah, I think it's good. Is it going to be like game breaking? No, probably not. But I really like this one. I think it opens up a lot of cool play.
It reminds me of a card last set. I forgot what it's called. The one that it's an item 3 cost that you can tap 2.
Oh, yeah.
Or something that costs 2 more.
Yeah, the green one. I don't remember what that one's called either. But
maybe that card's playable in Infinity though, for some random crazy reason. I don't know. I think that's a really cool card. I just like
Cindy Stouthearted.
The way I see it being playable is in a deck. Like the deck that it works in my imaginary head sounds insanely broken.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But I mean here's another potential option is
true.
The new Buzz Lightyear, the other iconic for the set, the uninkable 7 cost, 7/5 stat line, quest for 2. That says when you play this character, you may return an action card with cost 7 or less from your discard to your hand. And his second ability is whenever you play an action, chosen character gets +1 lore this turn. So again, like I think you're getting into green-yellow territory with some of these cards that is very much not the traditional dogs, but maybe more of a circle dogs type stuff where you are trying to interact and pull stuff from your discard more frequently. But I love this Buzz Lightyear, not only for the art, but I think the card has a lot of potential.
Yeah, I don't know why they made this card uninkable. Because like Clarabelle is inkable, and Clarabelle is probably
Clarabelle's a problem though. We can agree that Clarabelle's a problem.
Yeah, she should not have been inkable.
I agree. Yeah, Buzz is a very interesting card. I like the card a lot.
Have you guys seen the Infinity OTK loop?
Yes. It's pretty cool. With Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo.
Yeah, Mo, of course, loves Bibbidi Bobbidi and was very much like a oh my gosh, we've already broken it. And I was like, okay, if nobody, I literally texted him this when he texted me yesterday. I was like, okay, if you're going to Indy and nobody else has talked about that combo and you're the only one that has, I will buy a playset of Iconics and you can play them in Indy but everybody else is already talking about it. So it's already been figured out. But yeah, for those of you listening that haven't seen it yet, Buzz Lightyear. So it returns an item card or an action card from your discard. There's a Ruby card called Rama, I think, that readies. What does she ready? I don't remember the exact text for the readying.
I think if you play a
It's when you play. It's when you play an action, right, or sing a song.
no a character that has.
Oh, it's that. Yeah, it's 5 strength or more. Whenever you play a character that has 5 strength or more, you can ready this character. And so you play Buzz, you ready her. Buzz gets back Bibbidi Bobbidi, and then you sing Bibbidi Bobbidi, which triggers Buzz to give something +1 lore. And so you have a third character on board, which gives that +1 lore. And then you bounce Buzz, Bibbidi Bobbidi goes to your discard, which he then gets back, which then readies Rama, which then you sing it again and again and again until your character has 20 lore, and then you win. It's kind of like very combo-y like Monstro, but at the same time, like you're just like doing stuff. You don't have to have all the pieces at the same time. Like you could have already played Bibbidi Bobbidi. You don't have to have it in your hand. You just go get it back and then play it. I think there's a lot of ways to just play green red and just throw in tons of removal to get to that place, and then you pop off and call it good. Especially in Infinity when you have Brawl.
I think that sounds pretty strong. I think definitely. Well, I in Infinity it might be a little bit harder to do like the monster style combos because there's a lot more board wipes and removal, and you would need a dry character and a Rumi, whatever.
Rama. I think it's Rama, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like what, one card ready, then a blank card. I mean, it's pretty accessible, and like, yeah, you'll get it sometime.
The stipulation, I guess, that I have with this one is, we played a Christmas discard list at a big tournament last year, and Cody won it with Christmas discard. I think if you just draw a bunch of cards and manage your opponent's resources like you do with normal discard, then you get to a place in the game where they can't just freely remove stuff that you're playing, or you can get there and now you even have more freedom to just manage their resources and manage their board and not care about you questing at all because you can pay them. And so, I mean, if you're playing Diablo and Prince John and Buzz and Bibbidi Bobbidi and some of this other stuff, like that's a lot of uninkables. So you have to figure out what those ratios are. But I really do feel like there's a world where you're playing some sort of discard removal suite and then like 10 characters, and all those 10 characters are your combo pieces because everything else is just managing your opponent's resources and board.
Makes sense. It adds back B prep.
Yeah, it adds back B prep.
Pretty cool.
If you really want to add more uninkable cards and force yourself into playing Hidden Inkcaster in the deck. Okay, I feel like we've got to talk about Woody, right? Like Woody's.
I love this art so much.
Yeah, so Woody's the set champs enchanted, so I'm glad they gave him an enchanted 2. He's a 5-cost uninkable 1/5 stat line quest for 2. Shift 3, we have not seen any Woody shift targets yet, I don't think. So I think the playability is very dependent on that. But he does have an ability that says when this character quests, draw a card, then you may play a character with cost 2 or less for free. Your other toy characters get +1 strength. So if he gets a 1-cost shift target, if you go 1 cost, whatever your 2 cost is, most likely a singer of some sort, shift Woody, play a 2-cost bodyguard for free to protect him, and then you're singing something with your 2-drop, and he's questing, and then he's safe for a turn, and you're getting to quest again and potentially do more removal. Like I just see this as like a massive value train that can get out really early if there is a good shift target for him.
I think he's like on the weaker side for me being playable.
Interesting. Okay.
Um,
Hayden, break the tie.
No, I agree with Matthew.
Oh, of course. You always do.
I know. Not really. I mean, I just think they. So I think they did a lot of with these cards where they kind of made them pretty fair. I feel like they're trying to like set up for post rotation more than like trying to make these cards playable right now.
I mean, I definitely agree with that. It very much seems like that.
yeah,
Because like I don't even really. It's like okay, so say there's a good one cost Woody, a 3/3 or whatever it is. Say it's good, then we're shifting this thing on 3 and playing what? We're just playing like aggro. Is that what we're doing?
No, I think you're playing mid range. I think you play a bodyguard to protect it, and then you just start the gravy train of just keeping him every turn and playing something
Yeah.
for 3 turns.
Yeah, I mean, I like the card a lot. I mean, I definitely want to try play this card in a deck because I really like the artwork. I really like. I mean, Toy Story is what I grew up on. I actually, when I was a kid, I went through like a BC, the tape,
VHS.
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 Yeah. I went through like I think I watched it so much that my mom had to buy me another.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So Toy Story is like really close to me. So I really like Woody, and I'm definitely gonna try a deck with this. But I don't think it's very good.
Yeah.
I could see it either way. I'll put it that way. I think it's very meta dependent. I think this is one of those that it technically has an unplayability because if you shift it, you get that ability. And I think there's enough other value that you can get from that if you're building your deck around it correctly. Kind of like the Simba that readies all your stuff when he's played. I feel like you just get that opportunity to like shift him in, have a crazy like impactful turn and go from it. Like I just don't know like what early game can deal with you shifting that in, playing a big bodyguard. Like what's the David? Is it a 1/4 bodyguard? Like if you're doing that on 3 with Woody, like let's say your 2-cost card was a Willow, then you played another character that turn that costs 1. Like I just feel like you can go really wide with some big bodies really quick, and then you have a built-in draw engine to go from there too.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
My only problem with this card is like this card. If you pay 5 for it, it feels awful. I think.
Sure, I can agree with that for sure.
Like paying 5 and not getting a draw right away just like almost makes the card like.
Yeah, this thing has to be shifted to be good.
Okay, so again, I definitely like we'll go back to my initial statement of like this is very dependent on the shift target, especially now.
Yeah.
Maybe when rotation happens, that changes a little bit, but
I
if
would
there's a
imagine
good
there's
shift target, this will be good.
I imagine there's a decent chance we get one this set and maybe another shift. Like maybe we get a 1 cost this set and maybe a 2 cost Woody in the next set. Because it is Woody.
Yeah, I could see that.
But if we do get like a 1 and a 2 this set, maybe it is pretty good. Because then if you could consistently shift it on 3, I think it's pretty good. But when you can't,
I
it's
sent
like
a
hard to ever want to play
card.
that.
What?
I sent a card.
Oh, gotcha.
I want. I think this card is very interesting.
Oh, yeah. This is an interesting one for sure. I'm glad you brought this up because this is very. This is a card. I'm still very weary on this one, but I could see it have really impactful lines. So Kita, a new legendary in Sapphire, 8 cost, 7/7, stat line, shifts for 6, quest for 2, has 2 abilities that say when you play this character, each player may put up to 5 cards from their discard into their inkwell face down and exerted. So you're ramping yourself and your opponent, which we've seen cards like that before. And haven't ever seen any play, but this is a very, very different card. And then the second ability for 7 cost, which that seems like a typo, but I guess it's not. 7 cost, develop your brain. Look at the 2 cards of your deck, put 1 into your hand, put the other to the bottom of your deck. Which I don't know, maybe it is supposed to be that expensive because it's a develop your brain, but you're not playing a card from your hand to activate that. So you're technically drawing a card. And you can do it as many times as you want. So theoretically, playing for 8 and then you ink 5, you're at 13. So your next turn you have 14 ink, so you can theoretically do it twice. I don't know. I'm trying to help out here. What did you want to say about it? I'll hand the floor over to you now.
Oh, I was thinking more of like the in core we have the blue yellow decks that, I mean, they get up to like 25 ink or something crazy, and they have problems drawing cards. And being able to have such a big ink pile, you can just like use that as a resource to get 2-3 cards. And I really do think this card is pretty good. Like, you can build your deck to capitalize off the ink more so than your opponent, I think. And then there's like a lot of like big payouts. Like you can play like second stuff. You can play like these really big actions or characters now.
But what was that? What was the song that did the 5-cost song? You never
You
had
got
a friend. Never had a friend.
Or friend like me.
Yeah, like that was the same thing, and that was the argument that I used when that came out. Of like
I
you
think
just
this is
build your
different
deck to
though.
better utilize that ink.
This is like way different, I think, because you have a 7/7 body attached to it, and you can kind of dictate when you want to play it.
But you can do the same thing for friend like me.
Well, yeah.
And yeah, there's not a body attached, but you could have sung it and not used your resources for that turn and still gotten a body out. And so I think that if this card is going to be good, you have to have a way to abuse your inkwell or your discard pile and not let your opponent do that, to where you're getting the value from that. So like you're getting 5 ramp and they're getting like 2 ramp. How that happens, I don't know. But that's my initial thought is like, if you want that to happen, you have to figure out a way to make that a lopsided ability.
Well, okay, so there is a card that got revealed. It's in 2 or 3 cost action that you can like banish it to shuffle your opponent's discard.
So see, I said that's the item card, and it shuffles both of your discards.
Oh, does it?
Yes, it shuffles yours and your opponent's, and it takes all the characters from your and your opponent's discard into the deck and shuffles them. So this item enters play exerted, banish this item. Each player shuffles all character cards from their discard into their deck, which initially I was like, this is kind of cool. But since this came out, it seems like there's more and more ways to interact with your discard, and they're wanting more and more ways to interact with your discard. Especially with dogs being around, you just shuffle all that crap back into their deck and keep them from being able to pull anything back out with a lady. Is this good? Probably not, but I do see a world where like this is a necessity. And yes, to your point, like this is one of those where if they're only playing characters and all you've done is like play actions and ramp, then you could technically play this in Blurple, dump all their cards back into their deck, and you have 3 or 4 actions, and then you get the 3 or 4 and they get nothing. So that would make it one-sided, but you're also having to take a turn off to play this. So and Blurple of all color combos.
Yeah, I still think I could deck build around this card. And
I hope you're right.
I mean, I think it's good. I mean, I think it'll. I don't know if it'll be like meta, but I think I am gonna try this card out.
Okay, last card for me, and then I'm done. Good old Syndrome, 6 cost, inkable, 4/6 stat line, shift 4, quest for 2. Whenever this character quests, return robot character card from your discard to your hand. Then you play or shift a robot character with cost 8 or less for free. Obviously, this is very dependent on your robot cards and if there are enough of them to make it good. But playing something with 8 costs or less for free is crazy.
Yeah. I think this card definitely, you read it and it like definitely stands out to you what it says, but I think then you go look at the pool of robots.
There's probably none besides Baymax, is there?
There's
like
is
3
10 in 5 Baymaxes. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely going to have to show or have to print a lot of them for this to be worth it. But I just think there's been a lot of cards that say do something for free on them and they're insane, and there's been almost as equal amount of cards that say do something for free on it and they're not as good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I imagine it falls into that camp because it is so restrictive. just like we talked about the super stuff with the Incredibles. But I just think this is one that is to watch out for, because if this is playable and you don't answer it, then it gets out of hand really quickly.
I will say this card reads absolutely crazy and can break meta, but break any meta it's in. But yeah, it just really depends on the robot pool.
Sure.
I'd like to see a big 8 cost, one of the, the robot things that he makes like that.
I imagine that's what like the payoff for this set is. If they're being thematic, I imagine that's what they're doing. But
I'm hoping there's a 1 cost of that robot, a 4 cost, the one that we already have, and an 8 cost.
No, there cannot be a 1 cost.
Well, why
then that 4 cost would be so good.
Because
the 4 cost is not that good. This is a fire the cannons.
On body on a shift target. That's kind of nice.
And it has to shift, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I mean, if it's a shift 2, then yeah, there's got to be another one smaller than it, right?
Yeah, there has to be.
Is that Syndrome's hand up there?
I think the robot card. It's a combined picture with Mr. Incredible.
Yeah, no, I took it off the screen. Like, look at the top, like the top left of it. Like, is that Syndrome's hand up there?
Oh, yeah. I wonder if we're gonna have like another card that connects to this one.
I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely the Mr. Incredible one. Okay, well, overall so far, I think we've seen like 40-ish cards. What is your overall grade thus far into it? And we'll leave it with that.
Okay, I'll go first. Even though I will say that it sounds like I've been really downtrodden on a lot of these cards, I'm actually pretty excited for how they've designed them. I just think the timeline got messed up somehow, and we have a higher power level than probably what they originally wanted right now for like what our current meta is. But like post rotation, maybe that'll come down a notch, and a lot of these other cards will be able to be more played and not be so removal driven format. Like right now, I think you can't play a lot of cards because they just get removed immediately. So I would say my grade B+.
It's kind of where my head's at.
I mean, we only have like 40 cards. So far, nothing has like really stood out to me. I feel like it's gearing up to be more powerful than Winter Spell, but less than what's the set before that?
Whispers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be somewhere in the middle between Whispers. So maybe like a C+.
Okay. So positive options out there. We'll see. We're a fifth of the way through the set, I guess. So still plenty to come, but we do have some interesting cards, at least for sure, thus far. So anyways, yeah, I think that'll wrap us up for today. Exciting to see more cards, exciting to get back into it, exciting to be talking about it, get going with the new meta. A lot of stuff going on next set. We'll have to talk about that soon on everything we have planned over the summer, because there's a ton of stuff going on. So yeah, maybe that'll be a good one to talk about here relatively soon, with our future plans coming up into the last of the CCQs and going into the LCQ in August. So yeah, with that said, thanks everybody for listening again, watching, all the above. We'll catch everybody next time. Bye guys.
Bye.